If you've been thinking of growing plants and finally welcoming houseplants into your home, in this video, I'm going to tell you a few things that you need to know before you begin your journey as a new plant parent. My name is Farida and welcome to Fairy's Nook, my little corner of the internet where I talk all things slow living, natural wellness, and plants. I grew up with a garden and surrounded by plants, but I really started gardening for myself about 6 years ago when I got married and moved into my own house. Since then, plants have brought me nothing but joy. I enjoy filling my space with them and taking care of them, and I think more people should grow plants. So that's why on this channel, I want to try and make it as easy as possible for as many people as possible, even if you think you don't have a green thumb or you have a tendency to kill plants, to actually start their own home garden collections. Now, to get the basics out of the way, when you want to grow plants, you have to think about the conditions that a plant needs in order to thrive. The three most important things to pay attention to are your soil quality, the water, and the light that the plant is getting. Now, I'll go into a lot more detail about this when it comes to specific plants as I continue to share these posts. But the most important thing to note is that different plants like different levels of light. They have different levels of thirst, so the amount of water that they need, and they also need different types of soil. Some plants like very loose and chunky, very well draining soil because their roots do not like to be waterlogged at all, while some plants tolerate a lot more water and require a much more frequent watering schedule. So one tip before you bring any plant into your home is to do some research about where this plant lives in its natural habitat. What kind of environment has this plant evolved to prefer? And make sure that you have the sort of schedule or the sort of temperament to cater to that particular type of plant. So for example, if you're someone who travels a lot or you don't have enough time to take care of your plants, you might prefer plants that are drought resistant and don't require a frequent watering schedule. Something else that's very important to take note of when you're bringing plants into your home is where exactly you want to place those plants in your home and what sorts of plants would best suit that location. So for example, if you know that you have smaller windows where you live and you don't get a lot of natural light coming into your space, then you definitely want to be sure to choose plants that are low light plants, such as a cast iron plant or a yucca, something that doesn't require so much light and so much attention in order to thrive in your space. When we first see plants online and we have a desire to grow plants, a lot of times we go for plants that we're visually attracted to. And of course, there's room for you to grow beautiful plants and things that you just love and want to have in your space. But the plants are living things. They do have their own needs, and it's important to be realistic about what plants can thrive in what spaces. As you get deeper into the hobby and you want to keep more plants that maybe do not perfectly suit the lighting in your space, there are things you can incorporate like grow lights in order to make sure that plants that you love are getting sufficient light in your space. But this is a beginner video and we really do not need to start with any like crazy gadgetry right at the beginning of your journey. Now, I hate to break it to you, but you are going to kill your plants. Maybe not all of them, preferably not all of them, but you are going to lose plants in your journey as a plant parent. It is just part of the game. Even the most experienced plant parents that have been growing plants for 30, 40, 50 odd years have the occasional plant that either just reaches the end of its life cycle or the collection is so big that you have neglected them and not giving them enough attention. It could be anything, but it is part of the cycle of life. The same way we lose people is the same way we lose plants. We always have to remember that these are living things that we are welcoming to live with us and live in our space, and we just have to respect that cycle. There's some of them that we're going to lose and some of them will absolutely thrive in our care, but you have to be patient with yourself and you have to be willing to learn, and you have to be willing to learn what these plants need and require from you in order to thrive in your space. Not to scare you, it's not every plant that requires a lot of attention, but some of them do. And if you want specific plants aesthetically in your space, part of the journey is also enjoying the process of caring for them. So don't be intimidated by the thought of needing to care for plants. A good place to start is with plants that don't require too much care and too much attention. And as you see them thrive, a lot of times you will be encouraged to just continue bringing more and more plants into your space. Now, a lot of times when you first start keeping plants, you will hear a lot of rules like water this plant when the top 2 inches of the soil are dry, or maybe specific advice about where to place a plant. But one of the beautiful things of living with plants is experiencing them for what they are. Sometimes you can have 2 of the same species of plants that act a little bit differently. So observing your plants and spending time with them and just kind of understanding what they need is all part of the journey. So the main purpose of this video is just to encourage you to consider beginning your plant journey. There's so much more that I am going to share as I continue to post these videos. But my recommendation and what I would like you to do at the end of this video is just decide on one low light or low effort plant that you can bring into your space and just watch it grow. I promise you there is something about nurturing life and nurturing nature that you are rewarded for as a part of this ecosystem that we're in. So if you decide from this video to start your plant journey, or if you're just at the beginning of your plant journey, I would love to hear more from you. I would love to hear what you struggle with, if you've struggled with keeping plants in the past, what you're intimidated by, and I just really want to build a community of people who contribute to urban greening. We're losing a lot of green spaces, we're losing our connection to nature, and it is something that is so important for our mental health. So I look forward to sharing more of this information with you, and don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe.